Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a lot of heavy tiles. I'm a long way from a bingo. I should be able to sort this out by playing 3 of my high-scoring tiles. 2 or 3 of them, rather. I certainly want to play off one of the Bs. So I could do that with curb, or verb, or Burke. And I may need the S to pluralise whatever my opponent plays. I actually can't see a way of playing off 3 of my high-scoring tiles. Now, foe doesn't take an S, it just takes an N. I can play curb, beginning above the O. Foe takes an N, but I don't have one. I only have one vowel, so I can't overlap all 3 of these tiles. And this is certainly better than changing. Curb 23. Okay, I draw some more vowels. I'm close to Dweebovision. I would need an S for that. I want to play off one or both O's, plus the V. Not easy. I could play Dweebovision and curbs, but it would be nice to hold on to the S if I can. I can't see anything good through the B. I have opened up a hotspot in row H, beginning under the B of curb, but I don't think I can take advantage of that myself. I can't see any 5-letter plays. Great! An S! Not so great that my opponent scored 90, but at least I can come straight back with a bingo and sort out an otherwise difficult rack. I need to pause because I could play this a couple of squares further on. Well, I think this is a better placement. Dweebovision 76. 3 eyes. Not good. I do, however, have Yiti on my rack, and that plays at A12 down for a good score. That would leave IL, which is an okay rack leave. I can also play Yiti in row I, making FE for a lower score. Column 8 at the bottom is quite hot. If either of us could get a high-scoring tile on this double letter square. I can't see a way of getting my Y on that spot. So at the moment I'm looking at Whitey, A12 down. 32 points. Just wondering if I can use this spot even without the Y on the double letter square, and I'm not sure I can. I've got the LY and ILY ending. I've got yield at D8 across, but that keeps 2 I's, so it isn't great. Now, Zanjero is a good player. I think somebody posted his real-life identity under a recent video. Let's see what public information there is. Okay, Marlon Prudencio of Singapore. Yeah, a good player. Now, my Yiti spot remains available. My opponent's created nothing new. Yiti 32. Great, I have glaring, railing, and layering. Glaring plays in column 13, making reg. Do any of my bingos play anywhere else? I can't see anything through the Y of Yeti. Grainily. Yeah, grainily probably good. But I have some doubt. I would have original through the O, but it's in the wrong spot. And I don't think original's got an anagram. Nothing goes in front of KO, so row F isn't available. RE and DI are quite useful two-letter combinations. At the moment, all I've seen is glaring. The V of Ovibozes is preventing anything in row L. And my opponent bingo's in the spot that I was going to play, which is annoying. Has he opened up a bingo lane in column 14? Well, before I consider that, why don't I just play grainily? It may come off, which will be annoying. But it looks plausible. Let's see if it stays on. If it does, I have the X and the J, and I have Jinx on my rack, which will play for a lot at L1. Just waiting for this to be challenged. 86 points if it stays on, and it gives me a 17-point lead. Column 8 is still hot because this double letter square is available, but I can't see a play beginning locks or LOJ. But what I do have is, I was going to say Nix, but Min isn't good. So I have 6. But that burns the S and keeps the duplicate N. But Jinx is the massive play at L1 for a huge score. I can't see anywhere else which scores well. But if my opponent goes in that spot, he may be opening up the triple word squares in column 1. In any event, it's good to have the X and the J. Not because they are a particularly great pair of letters to have, but they are high-scoring tiles. I'm looking in column 14 to see if I've got anything alongside Oterine. Can't see anything. And I haven't seen anywhere to play Jinx, regardless of score, apart from the L1 spot. 42 tiles in the bag. Now, the triple word square at H15 can be reached by a 5-letter play beginning with L, as well as a 3-letter one beginning with R, so I need to be mindful of that. Rio only takes an S after it. So I've got 6 in column 14, but again, that's keeping 2 N's, and that's not good. It would be good to play Jinx or Nix to split up the N's. 1 blank still out there. Again, my opponent taking a while with his move. So what if my opponent blocks the jinx spot? Well, difficult to see an alternative play that I feel good about. I do have Nox in column 4, but I think it's unlikely that that would remain available whilst Jinx is blocked. I can't see anything underneath Grainally. R only takes an E and I don't have one. So I'm back to having only one vowel. If my opponent provides a vowel, I may have more options available. I'm looking in column 8 to see if I've got anything beginning L-O, regardless of what's on the double letter square, and I can't see anything. Fantastic. My opponent leaves Jinx available. Jinx for 70 points. And I draw a pretty bingo-y rack. I've got Eluance and its anagram, which is something. Eluance and Unlaced, I think. And Eluance will play in column 15. Possibly Lunates. My opponent plays Jade. Great, so Eluance remains available. So a pretty good pickup. Eluance for 80. Is there a higher scoring spot? I don't think so. Now, not such a good pickup. The V and the W, not a good combination, but I do have a 100-point lead now. And I have Vow on my rack, which would pretty much sort the rack out in one go. And that plays at J2, Vow and Wox. I can't think of any 4-letter front extensions to Jade. Now I note column 15 at the bottom is quite hot. Just my N goes after EN, so I don't think I can play to good effect myself on this turn. I've got quite a few words on my rack. Not just vow, but gown and down. So if I can play off 2 or 3 of the V, W, and G and D, I'll be in good shape. I'm just wondering if gowed is good. It might be. If I play vow across here, then there is a front hook of an A, but Jade would make using that hook require a word ending in A, so it's not as dangerous as it otherwise might be. I still haven't got anything good at the bottom of column 8. Now I've lost the sound of moves being played. Hopefully that's still being recorded, but it's slightly disorienting. So if Vow and Wox are blocked, what do I have? Well, I note that Ox takes an O. So I could play Adoon across here. Horrible rack leave, but at least it's a scoring option. Now my W can go underneath LO, and O can go underneath OB. So I could play Dow across here, keeping Vong. Gov and Vog are both good. My opponent's got just 7 minutes left on his clock. I have 16. Column 2 is quite hot for a high-scoring tile on this triple letter square, if it can reach down to beside the D. I don't have a play in that spot that I can see. Vowing doesn't quite work. One eye left. A 110-point lead. Great, only 11 points for my opponent. He may have an S, or he may just be getting rid of U's and taking out a hotspot. In any event, Vow remains available. Umu only takes an S. Let me see what this scores. 30 points, which is good, and I haven't seen anything better. Another rack with just one vowel, which is, well, I was going to say annoying, but the point is it's annoying because it limits the number of playable words. 49 points for my opponent. He gets maximum value out of that A hook. And, well, he's 80 points behind, which is a bingo behind. And there are bingo lanes on this board. I can't use column 8 at the bottom. It would be quite nice to play off a lot of tiles to expedite the end of the game, but that's difficult. Now, what about placing... Column 2 is a bingo lane. Z takes an O. I've got an O. So I could play God. Gets rid of the duplicate G. 23 points is an okay score. And if I draw vowels, my new rack may have some flexibility. But can I play off more than one vowel? Well, I could play Drongo in column 3, which would be playing off the R and the N as well. But for a lot fewer points. Is this really the best I can do? I'm just wondering if God takes an E front hook. I don't think it does. I think I can do better than this. What about playing doing across here? 3 consonants is a lot better than 4, and 31 points is a bigger score. I am opening up a bingo lane in row C, but it wouldn't get doubled, so it's not a particularly dangerous one, and in any event, there are a lot of bingo lanes on this board. I do draw some vowels, which is good, and I have no duplicates. I don't have a bingo. And I can't see any 8s with this rack. I'm still 100 points ahead, 11 tiles in the bag. There is a blank out there. There is a Q and U out there. I do now have a play in column 8. I could play... What was I going to say? Logia, that's what I was going to say. 27 points, not a great score, and not a great rack leave. Now I have an A for going next to the Z. Walks doesn't take anything after it. My Y could go underneath LO if I had a 3-letter play across here. A goes after OB. Well, my opponent's gone in that exact spot. My Y can go after OBE. And, well, and A, I could play gay or K. So gay, 32 points. I could also play to the right because Lop takes an E. Now, 8 tiles left. If I played to the right, I'd obstruct the Umu's bingo lane. There are 3 E's and no A's, so my A may be more valuable than my E. Especially because of the Tsar hook. So, I have 13 minutes left. So, what about playing to the right? What do I have? Well, and maybe I could play the A and the E. I could play gayer. And although the A was a useful Z hook, 41 points is a huge score. Well, quite a good score. And playing off 5 tiles is helpful when there's only 8 left because it really does make a big dent in the bag. Can I do better? I think this is okay. I draw the Q. I don't draw the U or the blank, but I do draw an I. So I may be able to play Chi. I can play Chi in 2 spots. I've got Chi and Gi in row B. I've also got Chi and Gi in row N. So I'm not going to be stuck with the Q. Nice bingo by my opponent. He empties the bag. He is 40 points behind. He's got wuss on his rack, which is a word. He can play wuss and umus. He can play wuss and ids. So this game is about to end. I've got 1 remaining move. It almost certainly means I should play the Q. So where can I get the biggest score for the Q? Chi and Gi, 14 points. Can I do better than that? I don't have an A for caddy. Iddy, not good. Nothing parallel to Ethereon. So this is 14 points. Let me just make sure I win. 41 and 14, 55. I lose 20 on countback. My opponent needs to score 35 with wuss to draw. And he is not going to do that. I think my opponent will go out. I don't see any reason why going out in 2 would be better for him. Yep, he does. So, pass to end the game. And the final score, 466 to my opponent, 483 to me. A winning margin of 17 points. So, a high-scoring game, a narrow margin of victory. Let's see what I missed. Grainily, not good. Wow. Okay, I got lucky there. Now, this was my opponent's opening rack. Does he have a bingo? No. He played foe, and I played curb. That looks fine. My opponent does now bingo with driblets for 90. Great start for him. And my opponent has now seen the grainily phony as well. And here I had Oviboz's. Oh, wow, there was quite a difference in score. I was considering the different placements. I hadn't recognised that they differed in score. So this placement's certainly better. My opponent played Mola. I had a horrible rack, but a nice spot to sort it out with Yeti. Nice rack for my opponent. He had Otarine and Notaire. And this is where I played grainily. Wow, no playable bingos. Gosh, so I certainly did get lucky there. A6 angrily through the Y. Now, horrible rack for my opponent. He played Far, and then I had Jinx for 70, which was a great score for a non-bingo. My opponent played Jade. Eluance and Lunates was the anagram. Alanites H2. Where's that? Ah, down through the eye of Jinx. Yep, but I think Eluance or Lunates is better because it doesn't open up a triple word square. Now, this was when my opponent played Umu, and I wondered what he might have, and he was sorting out a troublesome vowel-heavy rack. This was my rack. I played Vow at J2 for 30. That looks fine. My opponent's rack, he played Zeta for a good score. And I'm 80 points ahead here. And this is where I played Doing, and that looks fine. My opponent's rack, no bingo there. He played Sep, and that set me up for Gaia for 41, which was a good score with that rack. And then my opponent has many bingos. He played Ethereon for 83. He could have got 9 more points for Enthrone. And this was my rack. Well, Chi isn't mentioned here, but I'm pretty sure it's better than any of the options on offer because of countback. And finally, Wuss. Yeah, my opponent did have 2 spots for going out, so I didn't need to block them. So, pretty exciting game. I got lucky with the phony of grainily, but it was a close game and high scoring, and there were lots of interesting racks to consider. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.